So there is this video that has now gone viral, which shows a group of police officers in Jamaica trying to accost a man for some reason or the other. The reason that led up to what some may consider a brawl, that physical altercation between residents, the suspect, and law enforcement, is a true representation of the level of lawlessness that exists in our nation. Watch this now. I don't care how innocent you are as a human being, as an individual. Once you disobey the legal command of a law enforcement officer, you are no longer innocent. Once you get physical with law enforcement officers, you have now committed serious offenses. You have now opened yourself to physical abuse and possibly death. Why can't we use our brains when we think about these things and when we find ourselves in these situations? And then we have organizations like Silly Indicom and Silly Jamaican for Justice that erodes the credibility of law enforcement in Jamaica. You hear residents saying, hey boy, you got dead, you only bad in a uniform. That means they have no respect for law enforcement. You know why? Because they have who to protect them, who to defend them. Why is it that these very same women that we see out there yelling and screaming and recording, why don't we see them out there protesting when our kids are being murdered? When our dons in the communities are demanding our 12 and 13-year-old girls, why don't we see them? But we see them every time that law must be enforced. And citizen safety must come first. It's a problem. But no one yells, no one screams, no one blocks the road when it is something that is beneficial to society. I am not saying that police should go out there and be physically abusive to citizens. I'm not saying that. However, 90% of countries in this world that you go to, you violate law enforcement, you open yourself to abuse. Hands down. We talk about America, Canada, England, Japan, China, Bahamas. The same story goes. You disobey the lawful command of a law enforcement officer, you have committed a crime. You're no longer innocent. If you're so innocent and the police is trying to cuff you, have them cuff you. You can go to court and prove your innocence. And if you're so innocent, you can even sue the state. Why are we so behind in our thinking? Because why? We have dumb institutions like Indicom, silly institutions like Jamaican for Justice, and these crazy female residents in our communities that are in support of the lawlessness that plagues our land. And then we want a better Jamaica. We will not see a better Jamaica because we are the problem. Again, I do not care what led to that altercation between that young man, the residents, and the police officers. I am on the police officer's side because if you are resisting arrest, the officer has no choice but to use force. It's that simple. Again, if you're innocent, put on the handcuff. Go on to a station. Call your lawyer, them have to let you go. And if you were wrongfully abused, wrongfully detained, you can sue the state. Common sense. Now you committed a crime.